Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Alicia Kenshe with Culture Talk with Kenshe. We're here at Dr. Studios. I'm here with a very special guest. I will let her introduce herself.
What's going on, guys? I am Bahja Rodriguez. I am a female R&B singer, 23 years old, from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm excited to be here.
Okay. So, my name is Rodriguez. What's your nationality?
So I identify as Black, just to kind of keep it general for people, because it's the little bit of Hispanic that I do have in me, it's 25%. I'm not even half Spanish, So it's I just identify as Black, but it's definitely some Spanish. I'm Puerto Rican. My father, he's Puerto Rican, so that's where I get that from.
Okay. So tell us a little bit how you got started in the music industry. I know that you were in the OMG Girls. Yes. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I was in OMG Girls, and that was I've sang all my life. This is all I've ever wanted to do. But when I turned 12, that's when I professionally started doing music, and I started with the OMG Girls, and we did that until I was 18, and then I moved on from that to just doing my solo stuff in 2015. I dropped this song called Jealous Type. I just put it on SoundCloud because I didn't know what was gonna happen with it, and it got over 1 million plays in probably 2 weeks. Wow. So after that, I was wow, people was put it on Apple Music, put it on, iTunes, all that stuff. So I was okay, and it's still right now one of my, top songs. But I have 4 EPs out. This is my 5th one that I'm putting out, and I'm really excited about it. I'm just excited about the journey and just kind of how I've gotten to this place.
Right. So I saw that you saying that you got a lot of views instantly from your first solo project, and I saw that all your other ones did too. So how does that make you feel to come out the bat solo and just be breaking records?
It actually felt really amazing for me because I didn't really know what people were gonna feel and they had always seen me with this group, so I didn't know how people were gonna respond to me as an individual. I didn't think people were gonna really be as receptive as they were. So it's now that I built just my own world, really my own little empire, with my fans that I have. It's really amazing to see because I never expected it for it to turn into what it is right now.
You never expected it after touring and everything? How was it touring and you were on the screen tour?
Yeah. It was amazing actually. That was a really good experience, and I'm glad I got to experience it so young because I learned so much, and also I learned just things to do and things not to do.
Right.
So it was a really good experience, and definitely connected with the fans. When you get to see them and perform for them, it was just a really good experience. But even though I did all of those things, I still just never expected for it to turn into this, just for myself, because I was just okay, I'm gonna just do this song, I'm gonna put it out, and I'm gonna just see how people feel about it, and then I'll just go from there. And it turned into this demand for a whole project, and then I found myself recording a project at that time with Jealous Type. I wasn't even writing, so it was just kind of crazy to get into that whole artist bag and writing and just that whole thing. It was still really new,
right?
Even though I had been doing music, it was doing it for myself and having I have to go in the studio and I have to link with engineers and producers and all these different people to take me to this next level. It was definitely a new experience.
Yeah, for sure. So you come from a family of musicians, you and your little sister.
Yeah.
So has that helped you or hindered you? I know sometimes it can be a hindrance to.
I don't think it did, and I think really because neither one of my parents are in the music industry, so I think people's only real knowledge of me doing music comes from the OMG Girls. It kind of just all comes from me, opposed to it being oh, okay, well, she's a part of this famous family, and she knows this person and that person. And not to say that that's a negative thing, because obviously, my best friend, she's from a famous family, so it's not a negative, but it definitely, I feel it's actually a help, because I think people take me seriously. They feel oh, okay, she really wants to do this, even though I was a part of, the OMG Girls, and I feel that was the music that we made was very teeny bopperish, you know? It's like people still coming out the gate. Like when I put that song out, a lot of like well-established people were hitting me, like labels were calling me, like so it was just really interesting, like to kind of see that dynamic and see that switch in my career.
Okay, so you mentioned labels calling. Are you signed or?
No, I'm independent right now. Reason being, just because I feel like for what I'm trying to do, like I don't really want a label. It's not something that like I'm opposed to. If it makes sense, and it makes sense, and I'll definitely do it. But I just want to make sure if I sign paperwork with anybody or any, you know, company, I want to make sure that they actually believe in what I'm doing and believe in me, and they're focused on my project, and they're willing to collaborate with me on my vision. Because I'm really big on like having, you know, creative control. And I have like my team, like my graphic designer, you know, my mom, my sister, my engineer who also writes and music, is Kyrie, he's super dope. But, you know, all of these people, you know, I ask them like, okay, what you think about this? How do you think we should roll this out? You know, so I just feel like with a label, it's like you go in a room with all these people and they're basically telling you like, okay, this is when you can drop, this is when you can't drop, like this is the song that we want to put out, you know, and it's like if they don't agree with what you want to put out, if you do put it out, you just gotta know what you gotta do with your own money. So it's kind of like you don't have a label in a sense if you don't do what they want you to do. So I'm just comfortable with like doing my own thing and putting my music out, you know, myself right now, but I'm not opposed.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You're fortunate enough to be able to put it out yourself. Yeah. A lot of people aren't able to. Like they wish they could do it that way.
Exactly.
That's super dope. So, what made you change your name from Miss Beauty to Bahja, and how did you?
Well, okay, so I feel like with the, you know, with the Miss Beauty thing, for me, it was kind of like I felt like that was still attaching me to like just the OMG brand, and coming out the gate, I really wanted to like disassociate myself because I wanted people to take it seriously, and I didn't want people to feel like, oh, you know, this person is behind this or that person is behind this. So I was just like, you know, I'm gonna go by my regular name, because even when I was in the group, the fans, like when I would see them, they would call me Bahja anyways. You know, it was like nobody would ever be like, some, you know, little kids were like, oh, Miss Beauty, you know, whatever. But it was like most of the fans who were my age, my supporters, they were just like, oh, Bahja, like that's kind of how that's the level I kept it on. So it was like when I started to go by my actual name, it wasn't like a real adjustment for my fans, you know. So that's kind of like where I drew the inspiration from with that. I just wanted to be known as like myself. Like, okay, this is Bahja, this is me. Like I feel like my name is really unique, and that's just why I just chose to go by my name.
Yeah, I could definitely tell the difference between like then now it's like your music now is like it kind of seems like old school 90s music.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
I really like it. I really enjoy it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So I was seeing an interview, or I read an interview where you were speaking about how you like to, it was important to you to make music for women and to help them and to help them get through certain things. So why is that important to you, and do you feel like you accomplished that?
I think it's important to me, one, just because like females, that's like a big part of my fan base. I also feel like, you know, not feel like, but I am a woman, you know, so I think it's important for us to have women out here who could speak from realistic situations, you know, for us. Like when I was younger, it was, you know, Brandy's and the Monicas and, you know, like that whole thing. And even, you know, growing up, like that's all my mom played. So that's all I would hear. And it's like now, I think it's important for me to do the same thing, because I feel like when I do speak from my heart, and not only speak from situations that I go through, my fans, they really relate to, and a lot of them tell me like, oh, you got me through this, or this song helped me through this. And, you know, like that was really my whole, you know, drive behind doing that. And I just feel like I really accomplished that, because people come up to me, like my supporters, when they see me, and they just pour out their heart to me about how this song was helping through this breakup or this hard time, you know. And I'm like, okay, like this is what I really wanted. Like I want people to connect with me, because when I speak about these things, it's not like I'm speaking about it and I'm trying to be like, oh yeah, I want her to listen to this, and I want her to come up to me and be like, oh, this got me through a hard time. It's like I really just speak from my heart, and I hope that, you know, people can feel what I'm saying and they can relate to it, you know, because when you're able to relate to an artist, you feel like, oh, I really know this person, you know. So that's like really, I feel like I've accomplished, you know, what I've set out to do, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely tell artists that all the time. Like, don't try to chase a hit or do what everybody else is doing. Like when you tell your story organically, and then those fans, and even if it takes longer to build those fans, they'll stick with you. Like that's how you build the longevity in it. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So you talked about women unity and everything. I met you at the Earthgirl camp.
Yeah.
So you want to speak a little bit about that?
Earthgirl was definitely amazing. I was running around at 3C and stuff all week, so I was only able to make it on the last day. But I met so many just amazing women. You know, not only just artists, but writers, producers, and just women in media, and you know, just so many different women and girls, and it was just an amazing experience to be in an atmosphere like that where it was just all genuine love. Nobody was hating, and nobody had like any type of side motive. It was just like, okay, we're all here, like let's connect, let's build. Shout out to Molly, by the way, for putting that together, and you know, Treesound for even allowing, you know, their space for us to come and, you know, be there. But it was an amazing experience, and I really, you know, whenever she does the next one in Atlanta, I'll definitely be there for a whole week, just camping out, like, I'm just gonna be right in here, you know. So it was a good experience, though.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Molly, the GOAT, shout out to Treesound, the whole camp over there. So, what was your best advice that you've ever been given?
It's so crazy. I actually was at Treesound, and Andre 3000 was there, and we ended up. This was when I was in OMG Girls, and Tip, he was up there. He was working on his album. We were working on music as well, so he had us up there. And Andre was like laying down the verse or whatever, so he took us up there to meet him because he knew we were like, you know, we really wanted to meet him. And so, you know, he asked him like to give us some advice, and he just told us like, be original. You know, like, you never want to come to the picnic and, you know, somebody else brings peas and then you have peas, because it's like people gonna be like, who has the best peas? You know, if somebody brings peas, you want to be like peach cobbler, so it's like no comparison. You know, and that really just stuck with me because I feel like right now in music, everybody is trying to like be the same, sound the same, look the same. Like it's not really a lot of individuality. It's like I hear people sometimes, and I'm like, especially with rappers, I'm like, who is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I listening to? Like, is this Thug? Is this Future? Like, I don't know who it is, you know? And I just feel like that really stuck with me because it's like when I work on my projects or any of my music, like, I stay current with what's going on, but I try not to listen to anybody else just so that the music that's coming from me, it's really like from me, you know? It's not like, oh, like, this was my influence or that was my influence. And not to say that it's not okay to have influences, because of course I have, like, you know, women who and men who have influenced me and influenced my sound, but, you know, I think it's important to remain original, like to be your own individual self, because when you're your true self, that's when people really feel you and they really see you. And they really want to rock with you and they want to, you know, support you. But if they feel like, oh, this is just another, like, you know, I don't know, like this is just another R&B girl, like I've heard this story before, you know, it doesn't really click for people. People just like, oh, okay, like, whatever, you know. So that's the advice I've gotten, is to just be original. You know, it's from Andre 3000, the GOAT, luckily, you know.
That's cool. So when you mentioned inspirations and everything, I know you mentioned Brandy and Monica, but do you have anyone that's like in your age limit or
I love Kalani, I love Summer Walker, love her, love Ella May, Ella May. Because I always get confused, like May or Mai, but those are like my favorites right now. I'm trying to think of any. Love Victoria Monet, Ariana Grande, even though she's pop, like she's a big, like I love all of her music, everything she puts out. I'm trying to think, is there anybody else? Like, those are just the ones I can name off the top of my head. Like, I just feel like all of those girls, to me, are, and really they're women, so I don't want to call them girls, but all those women, to me, are just really, they're individuals and they're not comparable. And I think that's what I really like the most, is that, you know, I can appreciate the individuality. And I feel like all of them are really bringing something different to the table, and that's why people rock with each one of them, because it's like, her and Kalani are not the same, or Summer Walker and Ella May are not the same. You know, even though Victoria and Ariana work together, they're still not the same artists. You know, so it's like, for me, I just think it's admirable, really, like to see women just be their true selves, be who they are, and just to amass this sort of, you know, following, this type of fame, and, you know, just have real supporters and real people who genuinely feel them just because they're being themselves.
Yeah, true. So I know you're from Atlanta
Yeah.
and everything. So you were talking about how when you're making music, you cut the music off.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like being from Atlanta, like you're pressured to make certain music just because Atlanta has a certain sound?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the beginning, definitely I was. Like, at the time, my manager at the time, like, he would always be like, we need this club record. But it's like, I'm not a club record artist,
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't have to make a song for the club in order to pop.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like I can be myself and people will rock with it and I'll be able to do my own thing. So definitely in the beginning, but now, I just feel like, I'm just being me. Like, I'm just doing music that I like. Like, if something goes and people happen to play it in the club and it goes in the club, cool. But it's like, I'm not trying to fit this sort of like, oh, I need a club record, or oh, I need something that sounds like trap music, because that's not, it's not who I am at the end of the day. I don't make
trap music.
Yeah, I don't make like sing rap songs, and not to like shade anybody who does. You know what I mean? Because it definitely works for certain people, but just for me myself, like, I just try not to fall into like being pressured to do that. Like, I just want to just be myself, and I just want people to feel me for who I am, and I think it'll work.
Yeah, and people will definitely tell, like, this is not her.
Yeah, yeah, like, you'll be able to feel it and hear it, because it won't sound like, what I'm saying? It won't sound like me, so.
Right, definitely, for sure. So what are you interested in, like, going in the future, like acting, or what different things do you want to try?
I definitely want to try acting for sure. I did a movie called Welcome to ATL with Young and Kenshe. He directed it. It was like me, Young Baby Tay, Brooklyn Summers, Clue. We had Dante, Maurice in there. Just a lot of like different people were in the movie, but it was really dope, and I had a good time doing it. So acting is definitely one. I also would love to like just be like a mogul for me. Like, I think I want like toys, I want like makeup and perfume and like clothes and just the whole school supplies. Like, it goes on and on. And yeah, exactly. Like, I just want to be a whole brand. I really get that from Britney Spears. Growing up, I loved her, and it's actually who inspired me to sing. Like, so I grew up just watching her and watching what she did, and like that model that she set, and it was like, it wasn't anything Britney Spears that I didn't have, and I want little girls to be like that with me. Like, I gotta get baby makeup, I gotta get the book bag for back to school, I gotta get the dolls, I gotta get the hair stuff, so it's like, I just really want to make myself a brand, like, and that's really my goal for the future. I definitely want to act, I want to like, branch out into other things. I want to have my own label and sign artists as well. I want to start my own girl group, with 3 or 4, girls. Like, that's like one of my passions. But I just want to be a brand, like, and I believe that's what, that's where all of this will end up. It's just like being this household name, this undeniable, like, force. It's like, people are like, dang, like, everything she does, she just kills it. Like, I have to have it. Yeah. So that's like my, vision for this.
Do you think a girl group would work nowadays? It seems like they don't usually last.
I mean, I think it could work if people don't have like egos.
Yeah.
I think that's like the biggest thing. It's like, when you have outside forces and people like in your ear, like telling you like, oh, okay, like, you're better, and like, you're like, I guess the quote unquote Beyonce. It's like, for me, like, everybody plays a part.
Yeah.
And it's like, if one person could do it on their own, they would have done it from the start. Like, I always say that, like, I'm so grateful to have been a part of my group and did what I did with those girls, because they really added to me. I learned a lot from the situation, so it was like, for me, I just feel like, it's definitely possible, but it's like, if you allow for people to get in your ear and get in your head and make you feel better, then that's kind of like the fall of it all, really, is like that ego aspect. But I think, like, if I find, 3 or 4 little girls who really like want it bad enough, like, no matter where they go, they'll be able to go off and do their own thing.
Yeah.
Like, even if they feel like, oh, this is not something we want to do, they'll be able to go and do their own thing. I just really want to like help other young people like myself, who want to be in this industry, but don't really know how, or don't really know how to go about it, or who to talk to, or even how to be, like, there's so many lessons that I've just been taught, you know, about my publishing, my royalties, you know, how to carry myself as a woman in this industry, which is really important. I think a lot of young girls coming into this, they don't know, you know, it's not like they're trying to be out here, you know, sleeping with men for favors or sleeping with men for beats or whoever, you know, it's like, I just truly believe they don't know, you know, and if you have a parent who's never done music or doesn't know anything about the industry, they're not even gonna know that this is what's going on, you know, so I just want to be there to protect young people who are coming into this and like be able to educate them and help them be better, and even if you decide like, okay, I don't want to be in a group, or I don't want to be an artist. Like if you want to be an executive, if you want to be in media, if you want to, you know, be a photographer, whatever, it's like at least you came to a space and a place and to somebody who was able to guide you and help you and doesn't want anything in return other than for you to succeed. So
that's really hard to find.
Yeah.
So what do you have coming up? I know you just dropped a project, or it's dropping.
Oh yeah, it's dropping next week. So Is This Love is my new project. It's dropping next week on Friday. I actually dropped a song this Friday that just passed. It's called Wake Up. Really super intimate, like sexy type of song for sure. I'm really excited about this project just because I feel like this is like my fans' introduction to a more mature me, and also to like a happier me. Like my earlier music, it was like I was very sad and I was like heartbroken, you know. So it was like I would put that into my music, and I still made great music because of that, you know. But it's like now I put happiness and love into the music, and I'm just excited for my fans to hear that from me, because I don't think that they've really grown with me throughout this journey, and they've never known what it's like for me to, you know, be happy and like be in love and like, you know, just have this whole, even without being in love, just me being happy. Like they've never, you know, heard that side of me. So I think it's gonna be really cool. I have Kamaya on there. She's a feature on there. That's like my first feature, or my first major feature. And I'm just really excited for people to hear it. It comes out next Friday, you know, November 1st. So it's gonna be available everywhere. Like music is streamed, so you just download it or, you know, purchase it, whichever. And like just take a listen, and you know, I think people will really enjoy it.
So do you have any performances coming up, or you planning a tour?
So I'm definitely in the process of planning a tour, but I know I have a show for sure on November 20th, and then another one on the 25th. And you know, I pretty much just put like my own shows together for real. So I might have like some coming up soon, but you know, I don't like to speak too soon before I know. So yeah, so those are definitely the two shows that I have confirmed. So.
Okay, so I guess they'll have to follow you.
Absolutely.
Information. Tell them one more time where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bahja Rodriguez. That's Bahja. And then the rest should come up. You know, the Rodriguez should come up. You can follow me on Snapchat, same name. That's my name on all of my music sites, my streaming sites. And if you just want to know my YouTube and everything like that, you can go to my website, www.bahjarodriguez.com.
All right. Well, it was great to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Keeping you updated on everything.
Yes.
Keep us updated on everything.
I will.
Sure. I definitely want to see you perform.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll definitely let you know about the shows and stuff.
Okay, cool. All right, well, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And check in next time. Thanks.